Thank you for listening to the show on Really Big Something Channel. September 13th, 2017.
The Kuhner Report, presented by Kelly Financial Services. This is the Kuhner Report.
My friends, very special Kuhner Report today. We are broadcasting live from the Comfort Inn in Randolph, Massachusetts. WRKO, we're teaming up with obviously the best, the American Red Cross. We're having a blood drive from noon, starting now, to 5 p.m. here at the Comfort Inn in Randolph, Mass. It's located on Route 28 off of Exit 5 on Route 93. We're going to be broadcasting live throughout all of today's show from noon to 3. I would love to see you come down, meet you. Please come on down, Kuhner Country, during your lunch break. Would love to see you. Give blood. It's for a very important cause. You are most likely going to save a life today. So what you do just by coming down and giving blood, you have no idea what it means to somebody who needs a heart transplant or an operation or whatever. They desperately need blood. If you can show up, please, I would love to see you. Again, we're at the Comfort Inn in Randolph, Mass. It's right on Route 28 off Exit 5 on Route 93. We're going to be here from noon until 5. Okay, my friends, by the way, another reason why I'm calling everybody to come down, Kuhner Country. I think Ed Markey hit this place. I think Marcula showed up. I want your money. I want to suck your blood. There's no blood in the blood banks. The guy came in here and emptied all the blood. It's all gone. There's no blood. So it's almost like an emergency situation here. So please, Kuhner Country, if you can come down, give blood. We've got to refill the blood banks that Marcula drained and sucked. So please, we got to save people here in the greater Boston area. Okay, 617-266-6868 is the number. Did you see that telethon last night? Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. So here it is on all of these big broadcast networks for 1 hour. And in theory, the telethon is supposed to be, to raise money to give relief aid to the victims of Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma. Those that lost homes, lives, families, communities. They lost everything. That was supposed to be the theory behind the telethon. And, of course, all the celebrities were there. Stevie Wonder was there. Oprah Winfrey was there. Leonardo DiCaprio was there. Robert De Niro was there. Beyonce was there. I mean, they were all there. All the Hollywood glitterati. And right from the beginning, from the get-go, Stevie Wonder came on stage, and the left-wing sermonizing started, and it didn't stop for a whole hour. Roll it, Brittany.
We've come together today to love on the people that have been devastated by the hurricanes. When love goes into action, it preferences no color of skin, no ethnicity, no religious beliefs, no sexual preferences, and no political persuasions. It just loves.
Okay, but now he gets political.
As we should begin to love and value our planet.
Yeah.
And anyone who believes that there's no such thing as global warming must be blind or unintelligent. Lord, please save us all.
There you go. That was the first act. So right off the bat, he's insulting all the people who, are skeptical of man-made climate change, are critical of man-made climate change, don't believe in man-made climate change. So think about this. So there he is saying, we got to love one another. We need love. Lots of love. Let's keep love. I want to feel the love. So, okay, there he is talking about the love, and he says, it's not sexual preferences, race, color, etc., even political persuasion. But now let's get political. And so right away, the left-wing sermonizing began. Right away, they were trying to seize this telethon, which is there to raise money for the victims. It's supposed to be apolitical. And they wanted to hijack it right away. And by the way, CNN started this, MS left BC. The media jumped all over this, the liberals, the Democrats, that somehow they're making this ridiculous claim that Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma were caused by climate change. Do they have any evidence for that? Yet. But suddenly it has to be climate change. So climate change caused Hurricane Harvey and caused Hurricane Irma. So there they are politicizing even the hurricanes and the telethon. But listen now to Beyonce, because according to her, climate change didn't just cause the hurricanes. It's causing everything. Roll it, Brittany.
The effects of climate change are playing out around the world every day. Just this past week, we've seen devastation from the monsoon in India, an 8.1 earthquake in Mexico, and multiple catastrophic hurricanes. Irma alone has left a trail of death and destruction from the Caribbean to Florida to southern United States. We have to be prepared for what comes next. So tonight, we come together in a collective effort to raise our voices, to help our communities, to lift our spirits and heal.
There you go. There you go. So now everything. So now monsoons in India, climate change. Earthquakes in Mexico, climate change. Hurricanes in Texas or Florida, climate change. Everything's climate change. Everything. Now, first of all, I don't know how to say this, but there's no evidence for anything what they're saying. Like, they're just making this up. And not only are they making it up, you know, Mexico's had earthquakes for centuries. Humanity's had earthquakes for centuries. India gets monsoons on a semi-regular basis. It's been going on for thousands of years in India. Talk to the Indians, they'll tell you. All they do is get monsoons. Hurricanes. Now, just to show you how bogus these allegations are, that somehow all this is being caused by man-made climate change, just to show you what propaganda it is. According now to the official scientists who actually study this, did you know that we have had a massive lull in 12 years? 12 years, the United States has not had a major hurricane defined as Category 3 or above. There was a massive 12-year lull, meaning 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, all the way up to this year, with obviously now Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma. In fact, this 12-year lull is the longest lull without a major hurricane hitting the United States. I want you to listen to this. Since they ever had recorded information, since they've been taking data and studying hurricanes, never has there been a longer stretch of time where there have been no hurricanes. And when they actually measure tropical storms, let's say over the last 12, 15 years, the intensity of these storms is actually not going up, it's going down. So literally, the facts and reality is the opposite of what these Hollywood moonbats and what the media elites have been peddling ever since Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Harvey hit landfall. They're completely making this up. They're politicizing this at every turn. At every turn. And, you know, one final point. I don't know how you can look at people who've lost loved ones, family members, those poor pets that you see left behind, those poor dogs, 30,000 homes destroyed just in the greater Houston area alone, people crying, having lost their belongings, everything. They've lost everything. Just shut up and sing. Like, we don't want to see Justin Bieber. Did you see Justin Bieber yesterday? He has some spiritual advisor. He just calls him the man. He's dressed up in some crazy religious outfit. Then they're doing some kind of a prayer, an ecumenical prayer, but he won't say amen. He only wants to say hallelujah. I'm like, just shut up and sing and raise the money. And instead, they raised about $14 million. Because they're so self-absorbed, because they're so determined to ram through their politicized left-wing propaganda down our throats. They never once thought, if we start running and yakking our mouth and going on about climate change, maybe it's going to have a lot of people just turn the dial. Maybe a lot of people are going to be so turned off, they're not going to watch the telethon, and we're not going to raise money. In other words, they never think of putting the victims first. It's always them, their liberalism, and their phony self-righteousness. Shame on them. 617-266-6868 is the number. Let me ask you this. It is the Kuhner Country poll question du jour, as the French would say, of the day. Is climate change to blame for Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma? The poll question is sponsored by Bill Kelly Financial Services. If you believe the answer is yes, it was powered primarily by climate change, text the letter A to 680-680. If you believe, like me, this is complete nonsense, lies, and propaganda, no, text the letter B to 680-680. As always, you can vote online at WRKO.com. My friends, let me ask you this. Did you see the telethon last night? And was it appropriate for Stevie Wonder, Beyonce, and all the others to constantly politicize the hurricanes and say it was caused by climate change? I want to hear from you. 617-266-6868 is the number. We're broadcasting live via remote from the Comfort Inn in Randolph, Mass., located on Route 28 off of Exit 5 on Route 93 with the American Red Cross. Please, Kuhner Country, during your lunch break, come on down, save somebody's life. It's for an incredible cause. Give blood. Your calls next.
Lord, please save us all.
1222 here on the great WRKO. Okay, my friends, it was a telethon to benefit the victims of Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma, and instead it turned into a political soapbox where they were denouncing Trump and denouncing the so-called climate change deniers. Did they just shoot themselves in the foot and turn people off from giving money? 617-266-6868. I have a column up on WRKO.com. It is making the rounds. It is going viral. It's Bannon versus the Catholic Church. Who is right on illegal immigration? It's already creating quite a controversy, a lot of stir. Please, my friends, go up on RKO.com. Read the column yourself. Pass it on to as many friends and family members. Kuhner Country, a call to arms, please, if you can. We are broadcasting live today from noon to 5 at the Comfort Inn in Randolph, located on Route 28 off of Exit 5 on Route 93. I believe Markey has come because the macula came and there's no blood left in the blood banks. So please, we're with the Red Cross. We're in our annual blood drive. What you do today will most likely save somebody's life. Please, if you can, come and give blood. We're here at the Comfort Inn in Randolph, Massachusetts, located on Route 28 off Exit 5 on Route 93. Please, if you can, come. It's for an incredibly important cause. 617-266-6868. Lines are loaded. Glenn on Route 495. You're up first. Go ahead, Glenn.
Jeff, thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure, Glenn.
Listen, I've been wanting to say this for a long time now, and I got the opportunity. These Hollywood elites and just liberals in general, they care so much about the environment, but they don't give a crap about what they put into their body. Heroin, marijuana, alcohol, cocaine. They don't care about that stuff, do they, Jeff? I mean,
you're on a roll, Glenn.
Their body is their temple, but that's your first environment, your body. And half of them die from drug overdoses, don't they?
Glenn, and not only that, but what about, the private jets, the 4, 5, 6 mansions, the Olympic-sized pools? I mean, nobody puts a bigger carbon footprint on the planet than these spoiled moonbats in Hollywood. But they're lecturing us on climate change.
They're hypocrites, Jeff.
Bingo, my friend. Thank you for that call, Glenn. Richard in Chelmsford. Go ahead, Richard.
Jeff.
Richard.
Hi, good to talk. Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure, Richard. Welcome.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to comment on that fundraising debacle on television last night. I couldn't believe it. 2 minutes into the show, Stevie Wonder, who, by the way, Stevie Wonder is like, the guy's great, but somebody must have gave him the words to say that, come up with this climate change connection to hurricanes. I don't understand that at all. I'm not a scientist, and I don't believe any of the people on that show are scientists, but I can't imagine trying to connect climate change to hurricanes. And actually, one of the bits, they were saying that, we had this hurricane here and a hurricane there, and there was a devastating earthquake somewhere, all related to climate change. I'm going, that's nuts.
Well, that was Beyonce. Yeah, no, Richard, that was Beyonce. A monsoon in India, that's climate change. An earthquake in Mexico, that's climate change. How about last year's blizzard? That's climate change. I mean, everything's freaking climate change. I mean, it's incredible. So you're completely right. Look, it's become a catch-all. They just want to blame capitalism. They want to blame Trump. They want to blame the free market. This is now their new religion, the so-called environment, and they just peddle it and peddle it and peddle it. No, honestly, on Stevie Wonder, when I saw him last night, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm like, is he still alive? I'm like, oh, he's still alive. I didn't know the guy was still around. And, there he is, and he's like, you must be blind if you don't recognize the reality of climate change. I'm like, Stevie, you don't want to go there. Okay, let's just not go there. Okay? 617-266-6868. Andy in Medford. Go ahead, Andy.
Thank you, Jeff. First time, long time.
Welcome, Andy.
I wanted to comment on Beyonce. I thought it was in poor taste, and she used and they used that media as they use their Hollywood shows that happen every 6 weeks to put across their own agenda. She said when she turned TV on, all she sees is death and racism. When I turned the TV on, I saw people of every race, creed, color, and religion taking their own votes, risking their own lives to help other people regardless of who they were. I saw a human chain of people help a person to get out of their car that was flooded. So I don't know what television Beyonce watches, but she ought to watch the real world. And as far as climate change, when they have one of these Hollywood galas that they pontificate themselves with every 6 weeks, why don't they carpool and not take a private jet to it?
You nailed it. Or all those limos, those stretch limousines. I bet they all flew down in their private jets. They all attended the event in these stretch limousines. I mean, I guarantee it. And then they all partied at somebody's mansion in this giant pool that, whatever it takes away. It takes a whole neighbor. You could heat and send electricity to a whole neighborhood. That's how much power it takes. But no. Hey, listen. We got to combat climate change. No, you're completely right. What you saw in Florida and especially in Houston was Americans coming together of all races, all creeds, all genders. It didn't matter, across the entire spectrum. American helping American, Texan helping Texan. And my friends, to be very honest with you, that's exactly what you're seeing here with the Red Cross Drive at the Randolph Comfort Inn off of Route 5 on Route 93. It is people here of all races, all backgrounds, all creeds, men, women, trying to help people here in the greater Boston area. We need blood. You're going to have an operation, you need blood. You're battling cancer, you need blood. You have a heart attack or a stroke, you need blood. Please, if you can, come down and give blood. Please. Coming up next, more with your calls, and Jeff Deal Is it time to get relief on the sales tax in Massachusetts? Don't touch that dial.
WRKO, the voice of Boston.
1237 here on the great WRKO. Okay, my friends, we are broadcasting live here at the Randolph Comfort Inn, located on Route 28 off Exit 5, Route 93. Please, if you can, come on down, join us. We're with the American Red Cross. We're having our annual blood drive. I'd love to see all of you, meet you, talk to you, shake your hand. Please, if you can, come on down. Joining us now is State Representative Jeff Deal. He is also going to be challenging Elizabeth Warren for the U.S. Senate in next year's election. State Representative Deal, do we have you on the air? Are you there?
I'm here, Jeff.
Oh, it's great to hear you. How you doing? Jeff?
Good. Hey, look, I appreciate you getting people to come and donate blood. Obviously, it's important with the hurricanes and helping people out wherever we can. But I have a lot of people giving blood, sweat, and tears on the campaign trail to beat Elizabeth Warren for U.S. Senate. So, it's a great time right now here in Massachusetts just to stand up for liberty and freedom and try to do what's right for 2018. So thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Jeff, are you gonna come down and give blood? Are we gonna see you down here, Jeff?
Well, right now I'm sitting at the State House. We're actually taking up some overrides of the governor's budget, so unfortunately it looks like they're asking for more blood from the taxpayers up here on Beacon Hill. So I'm going to be trying to fight that for as many hours as I can here.
I was just going to say, well, because Markey left. Markila left, so you don't have to worry about him anymore. He's taken all the blood, and we got to refill all the blood now. So by the way, have you noticed, did you see him today? Didn't he just look more red in the face, like just more life, more vigor? Did you notice that? He just looked like a different man today.
I missed it. I must have missed that one. Oh, dear.
Okay, Jeff, you held a press conference. I want everybody to know why you held your press conference. It is now time, in your view, and I agree with you completely, to now give the taxpayers of Massachusetts some relief over the sales tax. Tell everybody what your plan and proposal is.
Well, let me just tell people that when I first ran for state representative in 2010, the person that I ran against and defeated had voted to increase the sales tax in 2009 from 5% to 6.25%. And it'll be 10 years. If we're able to get this repealed on, it'll have been 10 years of having Massachusetts continue to be uncompetitive. First of all, with our neighboring state of New Hampshire, which has no sales tax. But secondly, internet sales is killing a lot of these brick and mortar stores in our state. They're losing revenue. There's less jobs for people. So I announced yesterday on the State House steps here in Boston that the campaign team for my Deal for Senate race, dealforsenate.com, the volunteers we've talked about it. They want to be involved in it. We are going to collect signatures, them and me, for the next few months. Collect signatures to make sure that it gets on the ballot. Mass Retailers Association here in Massachusetts filed two different ballot questions, one at 4.5%, one at 5%. When they decide which one they're going to go with, and I think they're going to go with 5%, we're going to support that effort to roll back the sales tax to 5%. I need people, like we did back in 2014, like Kuhner Country did and delivered in a big way, all those signatures to get it on the ballot. I've committed our Senate campaign team to deliver at least 10,000 signatures to get the sales tax back down to 5%, and we're going to work hard, and we're going to make sure it gets on the ballot because it has to in 2018 so we can improve our economy here in Massachusetts.
Jeff, let me just play devil's advocate for a second. What do you say to the argument, well, if you reduce the sales tax, you're obviously going to reduce revenue into the government's coffers. This is going to lead to more deficits. We're not going to be able to fund roads, hospitals, schools, after-school programs. In other words, that you're hurting the poor and you're hurting the basic safety net and the social programs that we need here in Massachusetts. What do you say to that argument?
Jeff, those are great questions because people are going to be asked it all the time. But the fact of the matter is the sales tax is a regressive tax. It affects the middle to low-income families the most because everything they purchase has an increased cost because of it. So first of all, we help them. Secondly, getting rid of the sales tax helps us be more competitive. It increases our economy. We're going to see an economic boom when you reduce taxes. More people enjoy, the chance to purchase at lower cost, and it really ultimately raises all boats. But the real question is revenue to the state. And in Massachusetts, people probably remember this, at the beginning of the session, the legislators up on Beacon Hill here just gave themselves 40 or 60% raises.
Bingo.
$18 million they gave themselves because they didn't see there was any crisis up on Beacon Hill for revenue. That's first of all, first and foremost. Secondly, we also have in Massachusetts, as people probably have heard in the past, at least $1.8 billion each year is going to fund those who are coming into our state illegally. $1.8 billion. Okay, and then also today I'm up on Beacon Hill, as I mentioned earlier. They're about to override the governor who had a budget at a lower cost, and the Democrats piled on hundreds of thousands of dollars on top of that budget. They're about to override the governor on hundreds of thousands of dollars back into the budget. Evidently, the money must be there, so there is no argument to be made that the revenue isn't available to reduce the sales tax. We absolutely have every right to do this, and it's going to help the taxpayers of Massachusetts and those families that are struggling to make ends meet. They haven't seen their incomes rise 1% in some cases, let alone 40 or 60% like these legislators gave themselves at the beginning of the session.
So, Jeff, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what you're essentially saying is this. If the politicians have the money, like Bob DeLeo and Stan Greenberg, to give themselves an $18 to $20 million in total pay raise, they got money to line their pockets. If they've got almost $2 billion a year to give to illegal immigrants, if they can send pork barrel spending after pork barrel spending in the budget, now all of a sudden there's no money for us when we want a little cut in our sales tax? If they got the money to spend on themselves, they certainly got the money to give us a 1.5% cut in the sales tax. Am I wrong, Jeff? Is that what you're saying?
You're not wrong at all. In fact, I should say to the listeners too, I voted against that increase. Okay, people like Shauna O'Connell, Jim Lyons, we all voted against that. I'm donating back the money that they're adding to my salary, so I'm donating that back already. Already a couple $1,000s I've done. And look, here's the other thing. In Massachusetts, again, we're talking about a ballot question that's also going to come up in 2018 that's going to put 4% more on people who make $1 million or more. So what these progressive Democrats up here are trying to do is say, hey, we want a fair tax. We want 4% on people who are making more than $1 million. Well, look, if they really believe that, they want fair taxes, then they should help the middle to low income families that are hurt by this regressive tax. But I guess my bet is going to be this. They're going to be against this reducing the sales tax.
Oh, of course.
They want all the taxes. They don't want to create fair taxes. They just want more taxes. That's what Democrats and that's what my opponent, Elizabeth Warren, are all about.
Well, bingo. Jeff, look, I think you got them by the tonsils on this one because you're right. There's less money now for them to steal, to line their pockets. There's less money now for their special interests. There's less money now for the illegals. That's why they're going to be against it. But you're completely right. Look, sales tax hits food. It hits, when you buy water, when you buy food, basic necessities. It's the most regressive tax imaginable. And so, Jeff, my question to you is this. What do people have to do to get this issue on the ballot in November? Because I think we're going to win.
I agree. I think we're going to win. And the mass retailers, I really appreciate them doing the legwork to make the language happen. Now we just have to get it on the ballot. So what I'm asking people, Kuhner Country, everybody who's listening, please go to dealforsenate.com, DIEHLFOR Senate.com, SENATE.com. Go to dealforsenate.com. Sign up to be a volunteer. There's a place where you fill out your form, you click a box to be a volunteer, and we will send you information on how you can immediately start working on getting this ballot question, these forms out there and get signatures. We have to do it now. We did it with the gas tax ballot question. People laughed at us, said there's no way you're going to get this done with just volunteers. We needed to collect 67,000 signatures. Then we had to collect another 11,000. They thought we'd never get it done. We ended up, with Kuhner Country's help, with your help, everybody, we got 120,000 signatures delivered in 2014 to make that ballot question to repeal the gas tax going up every year without a vote. We got that done that way. We're going to get it done with volunteers again. I promise you, I'm going to be out there with the volunteers collecting signatures until we make sure we get at least 10,000 from our group, and we're hoping other groups get involved as well. But we're going to deliver at least 10,000 signatures to make this happen.
Jeff, I know you're up against it. You got to go back up in the state legislature, but just very, very quickly, in total, just so the audience understands, what is the process? How many signatures do we have to get this issue on the ballot in November? What's the target?
Right. So And I should also clarify this. It's not just to reduce the sales tax to 5%, but it's also to make sure that the sales tax holiday weekend in August that helps those retailers during the slow months, keeps us competitive with other states. It's going to make that permanent.
Permanent. So excellent.
Yeah. So what happens is people take these forms that we're going to tell them where to get them. Okay, they're going to take these forms. They're going to go out there, and people are going to sign their name, and they're going to sign their address next to it. You can go to malls. You can go to all sorts of places. We'll give you tips on where to get signatures, get them from friends and family. Then we'll be collecting them back in, and what we'll do is we'll take them to the Secretary of State, and we'll get them certified, and we'll make sure that we do our part to deliver as many signatures as we can to get it on the ballot. It's that critical.
Now, what's the ultimate number that we need? Is it 67,000, 70,000, 80,000? What's the total number we need?
Well, they're always going to try to cross out names up here on Beacon Hill. They want to try to make things as difficult as they can. They want to see if they can invalidate any signatures. So we're shooting, I think, to try to help the effort that's going to try to collect at least 100,000.
100,000,
by the way,
okay.
At least 100,000. That's at least we're going to need 100,000. So look, we're going to need as many people as possible. There's no doubt. And by the way, we won back in 2014. We were outspent by $3 million against us. All those TV ads, AAA was working against us. Everybody was and we ended up defeating that anyway because we had great people out there telling people about the gas tax and about why we needed to repeal it. We're going to do the same thing with the sales tax this time.
Jeff, look, I can just tell you this. I know your support is big and growing. I can just tell you, because I see the numbers, how many people listen to this show. If Kuhner Country gets mobilized, if we get mobilized, we can raise 100,000 signatures. I'm telling you, we can do it. We could easily do it. And that will put it on the ballot. We will slaughter the Democrats in November. We will cut the sales tax. I'd rather it go to 4.5%, to be honest with you, but I'll take 5%. I don't care. Any cut is a good cut. Get it to a 5% sales tax, a permanent sales tax holiday in August, and give the people of the hardworking, tax-paying people of Massachusetts some freaking relief. We deserve it. And we're going to put the Democrats, the liberals, and Elizabeth Warren on the defensive. Jeff, I commend you for your courage. Buddy, I stand with you shoulder to shoulder, and together I believe we can do it. Everybody in Kuhner Country, please go to dealforsenate.com, DIEHL, dealforsenate.com. Let's start signing those signatures. Let's get that petition drive going, and let's cut our taxes for once. Jeff, keep up the good fight, buddy.
Thanks, Jeff. You too, and thanks again for doing the blood drive today. Amazing
oh, my
work.
pleasure. I just wish
awesome.
I just wish you were here. I did, but that's okay. We'll see you at the Bill Kelly event, right?
See you soon. Exactly.
On the 23rd. Okay. God bless, Jeff. Take care.
Thanks, Jeff.
617-266-6868. Let me ask all of you this: should we slash the Massachusetts sales tax? And should we give retailers a permanent sales tax holiday in August? Is it time to put it on the ballot? I say yes. What do you say? All of your calls next. Okay, my friends, Jeff Deal is now announcing a drive to get 100,000 signatures on a petition to reduce the sales tax here in Massachusetts to at least 5% and to make the sales tax holiday in August permanent. I say we can do it. I say we need tax relief. It's time to put the taxpayers of this state first. Agree, disagree. Bruce in Springfield, Mass. Thanks for holding. Go ahead, Bruce.
Hey, Jeff.
Bruce.
You know me, I did my 12 years in the Navy, and one of the reasons why I never came back to Massachusetts was because of all the taxes and the local fees. And it's a pleasure to hear somebody finally say, you know what, the people have had enough. Let's get taxes reduced. And that's one of the reasons why I moved back to Wilbraham. I love my state, and I want to get on board with Jeff and help him any way I can.
Oh, Bruce, that's music to my ears. Buddy, thank you so much. Look, to everybody again, please go to dealforsenate.com, DIEHL. I'm telling you right now, we can easily get 100,000 signatures. For this audience, the size of this audience and the passion of this audience, we could easily do it. We put it on the ballot, and then we will win. And I want to see the Democrats and the Moonbats and the liberals and Elizabeth Warren come out and say why working middle-class people shouldn't get a tax break after the crooks up on Beacon Hill voted themselves a $20 million pay increase. I want to see them defend that. They can't. We've got them over a barrel. All we've got to do is get mobilized. Kuhner country, we can do it. Let's do it. Elaine in Minnesota. Go ahead, Elaine.
Hi, Jeff. Thank you for taking my call again. First thing I want to say is last night I taped that telethon, and I got disgusted. I watched it for about 2 minutes, and that was it. And the thing is that when you look at this, I have two comments to make. The first thing about the telethon is the only telethon they should have had was one with all the rich sports stars, Hollywood stars, and music stars, because I was looking on Google, like, you know, they all make, a lot of the rappers make like 700 to 800 million. I think I researched him. I'm just rushing because I know you get a lot of calls. I think he was around 500 million.
Oh, I think he's more than that. Didn't he sell some kind of alcohol or wine? He had a vineyard or something, and
yeah, but I was looking like Ellen DeGeneres 400 million, Oprah 3.1 billion.
Look at that.
And what was I going to say? That Hillsong Church, I agree, because I don't want to get off track. I really got to tell you something. Like Bieber, I know he's a good singer. I bought a lot of those things for my nieces and nephews. But I think Hillsong Church and my...
Elaine, sorry, I got to go. I'm up against it.
Oh.
But you've made your point. Look, they're all billionaires, and they all fly on private jets. You know what a massive carbon footprint these people have? And they're lecturing us? Blank off.
The voice of Boston is you. 680 WRKO Boston, 93.7 WEEI HD2 Lawrence, Boston. It's 1 o'clock.